So a top 10 soap opera star of the 1980s and 90s, one of the most loved, beloved, and respected soap opera actors ever hail from Australia. The poor man's James Bond. He should have played James Bond because he had a lot more character than some of the James Bonds that were played. But unfortunately, bad news across the doorstep, ladies and gentlemen. The great Tristan Rogers has died from cancer complications at the age of 79. Now, this Australian actor was best known for playing Robert Scorpio on the ABC soap opera GH for a number of years. Born in Melbourne, his early acting roles were on Australian television, and he completed short stints in soap operas Bellbird, number 96 and 74, and The Box in 75. He was a regular in the police drama A Series of Link Man, if you can find it, which lasted for 13 episodes. It had guest roles in the programs called Barrier Reef, Division 4, and the 76 miniseries Power Without Glory. He also appeared in a few British films in the early 70s, notably Four Dimensions of Greta, The Flesh and Blood Show, very underrated, and of course the always classic Sex Farm. Now, Rogers originally appeared on GH from December 80 until February 92, and he's on-screen and off-screen friendship with the great Tony Geary. You're talking about a bromance. This was one. They got through many, many battles together, especially the Ice Princess saga, where basically Scorpio saved his good friend's life and told the evil Cassadine son that was left, help him out and try to stop the Ice Princess. Tremendous. Now, ironically, a lot of people thought he was on the show before December 1980. He wasn't. He was brought on to be the WSO, Super Sleuth. The popularity and longevity of his character came as a result of his involvement with a momentarily popular super couple, Luke and Laura, whose 81 wedding brought in 30 million viewers and remains the highest rated hour in American soap opera history. While Roger Scorpio had been killed with no body found, we left the series in 92. He returned briefly in 95 as Scorpio's spirit to comfort the character's daughter, Robin Scorpio, Kimberly McCullough, who was dealing with the death of her boyfriend to an AIDS-related illness and is herself HIV positive. He returned again in January 2006 for 6 weeks, this time with Scorpio being very much alive. Rogers reappeared in April 2006 and left again that November. Now, from August 5th, 2008 through October 21st, 2008, he reprised the role of Robert Scorpio in the second season of SoapNet's General Hospital Night Shift, a primetime spin-off of GH which stars Scorpio's daughter Robin. He was also featured in 12 of the season's 14 episodes, suffering from a near-fatal illness, and Soap Opera Digest called his appearance their best return of 2008. Rogers later reappeared on GH for 4 episodes, starting December 22nd, 2008, as Scorpio attends Robin's wedding. Now, he also returned to GH with Robert Scorpio in 2012 after former wife Anna Devane called him back to Port Charles to tell him that their daughter Robin had been killed in a lab accident. After 7 episodes, he left again in March 2012. Rogers expressed disappointment. He later returned to the series on November 15th and later departed on 8th December as his character was drugged into a coma. Rogers reprised the role in October 2013 as part of his on-screen daughter's return. However, in November, it was announced to be departing the series to return to Young and the Restless as Colin Atkinson. He made his last appearance in 2014. He returned to the series in 2015, but he was also portraying Colin Wynar at the same time. He later left the series in February 2016, although he briefly returned in the fall of the same year. Now, he returned to GH in April 2018 for a story arc which he aids Anna Devane, who's trying to locate her long-lost son, Henrik Faison. Henrik is the unknown child that she bore in secret with César Faison. After leaving the show on the 1st of June 2018, he later returned yet again from July to September of the same year for another story arc where Anna and Finn go missing. In 2019, he returned to the show again on 25th of January and remained on the show since then on a recurring basis. Now, Rogers returned to daytime TV for Young and the Restless, placed on contract in 2011, but written out in 2011 and returned briefly in 2012. He also starred in the Emmy award-winning short Opportunity Knocks, for which there are plans to develop in a feature-length film. He also voiced Jake the Kangaroo Mouse in the popular Rescuers Down Under, and also gave his voice to the 2015 video game Mad Max. From 1997 to 1998, Rogers played bar owner Harry in Fast Track, a series about stock car racing which was filmed in Canada. Since 2020, he has starred in a soap opera web series The Bay as Lex Martin. In 2019, he played Doc in the Amazon series Studio City, a role that garnered him an Emmy for outstanding performance by a supporting actor in a digital drama series at the 47th Annual Daytime Emmy Awards. He also has done ad work for Outback Steakhouse, Foster's Lager, Reebok, Epson, and others. Now, he was married to Teresa Parkinson since May 21st, 95. They have 2 children, daughter Sarah Jane, born 92, and son Cale, born 96. He bought a home in Palm Springs, California, in 97. He was formerly married to Barbara Meal from June 7, 73 until the entry when they're divorced. Unfortunately, in July 2025, it was announced Rogers had been diagnosed with lung cancer, and he died less than 6 weeks later. Again, handsome, personable, charismatic. There's not enough words to say how much Tristan Rogers. You could do more with a look than most people could do act. So just a filmography, a lot of Australian. 4 Dimensions of Greta, The Flesh and Blood Soul, Sex Farm, The Rescues Down Under, Soulmates, Night Eyes 3, Piece of Eden, Delgo, Jack Rio, Opportunity Knocks, we played Death, Raven and the Los Angeles Ripper, TV, The Link Men, Barrier Reef, Number 96, The Box, Power Without Glory, Bell Bird, General Hospital, literally for 45 years. Cover Up in 84, Mancuso FBI, Babylon 5, The Real Adventures of Johnny Quest, Fast Track, Real Monsters, Batman Beyond, played the voice in Centuries of the Last Cosmos, Night Shift, played himself again, Robert Scorpio, DeBay, Lex Martin, and Young and the Restless, on and off from 2010 to 2019, Colin Atkinson. Again, Studio City, we played Doc. Voiceover work, Outback Steakhouse, Foster's Lager, Reebok, and Epson, and Mad Max 2015, the video game, which was quite a get, as probably one of the most popular Australian actors of all time. So, ladies and gentlemen, my personal remembrance of Tristan Rogers, when CTV in the Maritimes, or ATV as we call it, finally picked up General Hospital, it tied into the what they call the Ice Princess saga. And there was a point there that Tristan Rogers is getting more popular than Tony Gear, if that's even possible. But the on-screen friendship and the camaraderie with Finola Hughes was there. But this is the closest thing to a homosexual or bromance relationship. I wouldn't have been surprised if Tristan Rogers and Tony Geary basically said, let's play it gay. But there's also rumors he was very close to Elizabeth Taylor. I can't confirm that. But I wouldn't be surprised if Elizabeth Taylor once said, that Tristan Rogers could be a big James Bond. Pierce Brosnan, because of Remington Steele. But Australian actors at the time were very, very hot, ladies and gentlemen. They always have been since the 1970s and 80s. But Tristan Rogers, not saying he's typecast by Robert Scorpio, in the history of soap operas, he's a top 10 character. That has to be top 10. Because why were people watching the show after Luke had left, or Tony Geary? He was there. Like, he was a designated hitter. He's the guy that threw it out. And Anna Devane showed up. But everything he did was believable. Everything he did was honest, and everything he did was perfect. So Tristan Rogers, the biggest regret, I never met him. And he never did many celebrity events. But to lose someone of his magnitude, okay, you should get an honorary Emmy, because without him, there's no Luke, Laura, and Robert, and Emma Holly. I mean, my God, ladies and gentlemen, if you go on YouTube tonight and look at the Ice Princess saga, how he plays that effortlessly. He's a movie star on television, like he's slumming, and not enough money in the world would pay him enough to do what he did. He was so natural. And like I said, he wasn't big in the gay community. He was even not even big in the female community. It was just, like I said, it's Robert Scorpio. I mean, and people would say Tristan Rogers, Robert Scorpio. I mean, is he the most perfect non-American soap opera star of all time? Yes. Because he came from the bowels of Australian TV to change the world, and that's what he did. Tristan Rogers, you're going to be missed, man. And my wife tipped me off to this. My wife's a big GH fan of the third wave, I call it, in the late 1990s. But I'm telling you, ladies and gentlemen, he'd be greatly, greatly missed. 79 is too young. He had another 10, 15 years ago, but cancer took him. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you like what we're doing with remote control and our GH tributes, let us know with a like, comment, subscribe, or share.